Well, Ant and I are at the start of the day, and we like to include people that are following us on our journey. So this is what we're going to do, folks. We're in a big broad gully, and it's been surfaced right back and up. That's the bedrock there, and that's the bedrock. And they've cut sluice drains through. So here's the sluice drain, and they've had to take their water lower than the surrounding edges so that they could expose it. Where Ant and I think we're going to get a bit, on areas like here, this great big stone heap. All this stone, they've had it in the centre of the gully, they've washed it, and they've broken it back and put it back out. So there's the stone heap that's probably 3 foot 6 deep, a metre deep, and it's covering ground. So the ground that's in here, it's never been detected. So all that ground that's in there, that's never been detected. The detector can't reach down through that far. We've been reluctant to do much work on the stone heaps because I thought that there wasn't any conglomerate. You know, I thought it was all free stone, like so that. That's just one bit of stone, hard rock. See that? That's just one bit of stone. It's not made up of different parts of stone. But then last week when we were in here, I plucked up a bit of conglomerate, had one over 2 grams, nice neat little nugget. So what Ant and I are going to do, just beyond that big stringy bark log, there's a very interesting pile of stones where they've used the force of the water, where this water's flown down. There's been a big patch of stone that's come down the gully, stopped there, they've washed it, they've worked it and washed it because they built a big dam above us, used the commercial water rates to build a big dam. And this, in the 1860s, and that's when this area was worked for the 3rd time, in the 1860s there was 3 Irishmen in here, party of Irishmen, and you imagine this, they're working away and they've got the water whistling down here from the big, and it's just like they're working in a stream. And they've piled this stone up, and they've been getting nuggets, and we know they've been getting nuggets because I've got nuggets, when I say nuggets, bigger than 1/4 of an ounce out of here, and they've been getting, when you read the notes, they got one that was 23 ounces out of this very gully. So what's to say, under one of these heaps, they've been a bit casual and they've missed a bit. I was reluctant to big us up before we started because what happens is you do a bit of work and you get nothing, but also didn't want to pull the wool over your eyes and say, oh, you were going to do this, oh, here's a bit we found. So you're with us, you know that bloody we're bringing in you here and you might find nothing, but you also might find a nice little bit. So depending on our stamina and depending on our weather, we're going to stay in here for a couple of hours and see how we go.
I had a good night's sleep last night, so got a lot of work ahead of me moving all these rocks.
Yeah, we're not going to move it a lot. We're going to poke around more than move. What we're trying to do is, and it's nice to have, is to find a spot where we say, oh, we'll go out to our spot, you know, and then you come out, you light a fire, you put in a couple of hours work and get a bit of gold and go home again. And we're trying to work out which is the best spot here. But imagine 160 years ago, the blokes are in here, the water's down there, they're moving these stones. They've just, when the time come, when they've worked their claim out, they've just stood up and walked away. So it's like a time capsule. The ground here is like a time capsule. So we're thrilled to be in here. Down there on the steepest part, that's where the more loose stone has ended up that's come down. And that's where we'll be going to try, just down there in that bloody jumble of logs. So let's see how we go, Ant.
Let's get into it, mate.
Good work, Ant.
Cheers.
Right, our Ant and I are back to the car for morning smoko. We've hardly struck a blow. We haven't been able to find a piece of gold and hardly been able to find a signal.
It's been tough going, hasn't it?
It's been bloody tough going, Ant.
Yep.
I'll be glad to get in the cabin. So
we're soaking wet too.
Yeah, we're wet. We've driven out by the rain.
Yep.
My detector's been falsing. I thought it might have been, Ant might have been getting the same. It might have been electrical interference, but I'm a little bit worried either I let it get a bit too wet a while ago or having trouble with the booster, but I'll check that out next time I make a start. So we're questioning our whole lifestyle, our whole career. Should we have stayed home? Should we go somewhere else? Should I have stayed home and watched Dad's Army Special on TV? Whatever we're going to do, we're going to have a bit of a spell, and that's the story of Detector. And lots of people will sympathise and empathise with us. They know what it's like.
Yep.
So we're going to get in out of the rain, have a think about it, probably go somewhere else. But If you're out and you found nothing, or last week you found nothing, you're doing as well as us. You're good, at least as good as us. We found nothing. Righto, Ant.
Let's go, mate.
Rightio, we've just had smoko, some hot coffee, warm us up. It's pretty fresh out here. Thankfully the rain has stopped, which is good, and we've moved spots because we wanted to be a bit closer to the car just in case it does start coming down again. So we're at our second spot for the day and just about to begin, so fingers crossed we get some gold here.
Good on you, Ant. Righto, mate. We'll make a start.
Cheers.
Righto, we arrived in the second spot. Ant's got a signal here. And I think this is the first signal we've filmed this morning, or since we've this today.
Yeah.
And it's in a local spot, just above the creek bedrock. The only thing about it is it's among a lot of dirt that's been churned up, so it's not in its natural spot. But Ant reckons it sounds all right, so we'll take the opportunity to film you. And I was back at the car mucking around, and Ant called out and thought, here we go, we got a bit. I'd hardly entered the gully, but
I thought I'd wait.
Yeah, I'm glad you did, Ant, yeah.
Because
we
haven't really filmed anything today, so
No, only
let's see how we go.
filming me eating chips and crying. Or did you delete that?
Still in there. Get out the way.
The weather's improved. Where we are now, you can drive up to it, and when you're already catching, you can keep close to the shelter. Where we were before, we had to walk down. Well, that was handy.
Oh, she's out. Yep.
Hasn't really given any break it up either, has it, Luke?
No.
Last week when I was crook, I disturbingly filmed Ant's crutch for about 30 seconds. So
I didn't even notice when I rewatched the film.
Oh, some of the viewers at home probably know. So what the hell?
Whoops.
Yeah.
Alright, what are you now?
So yeah, if you're wondering what that was about, bit worried, Ant, were you? Did I hear a no there, or didn't thrill you?
Didn't thrill me, but we're so close to it now, so
Yeah.
you never know.
There is one upside to it, even if it's not gold. It's a quick signal that no one else has dug.
Yep. No.
And there it is.
Bugger.
Right, that's our first film signal for the day. Really old one of those.
Yeah.
So,
Fuck it.
Yeah. Right, Ant.
On to the next one.
On to the next one. The motor started here, mate.
That's it. Cheers.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Rightio, Ant and I haven't had much to film today. We've come back into a spot that I've got gold out of before, and I've come back to a right on a spot I've got gold before, and I've got this signal here. And I've dug down, it's only small now, I've dug down an inch or two in the yellow clay to make sure it was the signal before I called Ant. And when I used to get gold in here before, they've dug this hole here, this shallow shaft, to get down to the bottom, and this collar is the ground they've thrown out. So I got them out of these collars, and I got some here where they dug up through there, and they've been trying to get back onto the bottom, and they've dug it out in front of them, and got little ones either side here. So let's hope like mad
Yeah.
that this is a bit of gold.
It's
One
likely.
word of caution is, because it's in this dirt that's or dirt that's been thrown out, it could have been thrown onto something. Like there's a hut over there where Ant was mucking around before, and there's another hut up there on a point. So a lot of steel has come down the gully. So this yellow clay might be on top of what we. It could turn ugly real quick, but
But for now,
I'm optimistic.
yep.
And I'm hopeful. So let's see how we
it.
go. long as we don't go through this collar. If we go through this collar, we're in strife.
In the hand.
Rightio. I reckon this will decide our fate for the day.
Come on, Glenn. Do it with the team.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You wouldn't think it'd be so important to find a little bit, but there he is.
Colour?
I reckon I saw a little bit of yellow stick up.
Oh, I think I can see it too.
I reckon he's there.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I reckon I saw it. There. In the hand.
Yeah.
Nice little leg.
Well, it's a little bit of gold,
Yes, it certainly is.
and shows.
Happy days.
And the slightly ironical thing about that is, it was in a very shallow scrape that I reckon I put there probably bloody 20 years ago. So I took a bit of surface off before it even turned into anything. I've been cursing this bloody machine. I think there was something a bit wrong with the coil. It's righted itself, but you can't find the small ones if there's anything wrong with your equipment, because you need it so there's got a constant threshold. It's got a constant threshold now. Before it was jumping around. I would have thought it was electrical interference if it hadn't yours had been doing it, but yours wasn't.
No.
Anyhow, Ant, there he is. And
On the board.
bloody hell, he's taking some finding.
Yeah, doesn't
So
it?
if you're not finding any gold, oh geez, it's a hard job.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And if you think I'm pleased with that, being that small, not a half as my reaction if he'd been a little bit of steel.
True that.
I know, like if I said I'd turn ugly, you'd say you haven't got far to go, but things would have turned ugly really quick.
Yeah.
Well, Ant, that might be our only
buddy.
bit for the day, but
Yep.
at least we bloody got a bit.
All right. Well
Thumbs
done.
up, mate.
Thumbs up. Good
We're
job, mate.
gonna shift spots. I'm going to go to another spot in a minute. So that was our last ditch.
Yep.
Well done, Ant.
Good job, buddy. Well done.
Righto. I'm on the track of a reef. My mate here's got a bit distracted because he's
All raft. All raft.
he's struck
Got a handful of rids there.
Rich with rids there.
Camilla, we happy?
So what we're going to do is, there's a big reef mine in here. See this bloke? You got to keep your eye on him all the time. There's a big reef mine in here, and when you read the notes, when they were down about 40 metres, they were getting 20 ounces a tonne. So I've been up here a couple of times and haven't done much good, but when they put these pines in, they push the mullock, and the mullock runs parallel with the track. So maybe when they were getting the 20 ounces a tonne, a bit has gone back up when they've exploded, dynamited it. A bit's gone back up the tunnel and gone out with the rubbish. So we're going to go, all the bits going out in the rubbish pile. If you're getting 20 ounces a tonne, I imagine they were a bit casual at times. So we're going to go and get on the mullock. We're only going to give it 20 minutes to half an hour to see if we can find a little bit. I've got to round up a knife and a pot for Ant.
Yep. I'm getting excited. I got no gold, but I got mushrooms, so I'm happy.
So gold for me, Ridsky.
Ridza.
Ridza for Ant.
Yep.
And we're having a good day.
That's it.
Good on
That's
you,
it.
mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Righto. Here's your mad polishman with his bloody.
All right, I've got a bag full.
There
So
it is, that.
At least a kilo or so in there. So
What'd you say you saw them at the market or something?
yeah, I've seen these forest mushrooms at the market for $99 a kilo.
Yeah.
So they are quite expensive if you want to go to a market and buy them.
Have a look at the knife he's got with you. I'm going to have to rush him a minute to take
That's your knife that you seem to keep in your car.
Yeah. It's funny how different nationalities like different things, you know. I was out one night and the bloke said to me, "What would you like to eat?" And I said, "Oh, what could I have?" And he said, "Oh, what about cow's tongue?" And I said, "Oh, I couldn't have anything that come out of a cow's mouth." I said, "Give me an egg." Ant and I are in on a farmer's paddock with permission because there's an old miner's cottage back in here. It's been resurrected. Some young blokes used to use this as a bit of a hangout. It's been resurrected, but originally it was an old miner's cottage, and there's a gravel lead that runs below it. But we're on the relics. We decided that we've had enough for gold for the day and we're on the relics. Our last trip where we stopped off at the reef, we walked in on the reef, started to drive in rain and icy cold hail, so we snatched it. We've come back down here, so now had one little bit of gold for the day. Ant's got a bag full of mushrooms, field mushrooms as he calls them, and so it's the relic challenge. It's a resurrection of the relics challenge.
Yes.
So Ant and I are going to go head to head for an hour or so here, and you'll be the judge. Simple competition, best thing, most things. Right,
That's
gets into it, Ant.
Good luck, Glenn.
Good luck, Ant.
You're gonna need it.
Rightio. Ant and I are at the end of the day, and it's a time we enjoy, but we haven't got too much to celebrate today.
It's been a very tough day.
It's been a hard day. These are the results of our relic challenge. That's all I could find. Bit of copper wire. What I thought was going to be a lipstick holder, but it looks too big and coarse, and a part of a spoon. That's all I got. I got a lot of little rubbish bits, but that's all I got. And you haven't set the world on fire either.
Yeah, no, I definitely haven't set the world on fire. This is what I got, and then my call to fame will be this bottle. I literally just picked it up just on my way over to Glen, so that is about my best find for today.
You can see it's been made in a mould there. You can see the mould lines along here, and look how coarse it is around the top here where the top's been added.
Yeah.
So we're guessing around 1880 for the bottle. Green beer.
So that's my find of the day.
Now, before we came in here, we weighed our gold. 3.2 was the result, which was better than I thought, because at least he's nice and round.
Yeah.
So the only gold we got for the day was 3.2. And then this magnificent display here, I fought back on the part of the Australian contingent on the mushrooms. These are a big and rough. My dad would eat them, but I certainly wouldn't bloody eat them.
Really? What are they?
Yeah, they're just paddock mushrooms. They're just what you call field mushrooms. They're proper mushrooms. They're
Proper mushrooms.
they're none of your Polish mushrooms.
Proper mushrooms that you wouldn't eat.
No, but Dad would. I wouldn't eat. I barely eat mushrooms in a stew.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But when they're pink underneath like that, they're quite safe.
Yeah.
You know, they're not toadstools or anything like that.
Folks.
I just put them in there to so that these blokes don't come out here from Poland with their fancy ways. So, long story short, we haven't found a lot. We've had a bit of fun.
That's it.
Lee Grayland, Sue Fanos, Singling, Richard Porter, and all the others that said, hope I got better, and hope you'll be pleased to bloody know that today's the first day that I've been right. I've been working all the time.
Yeah, it was
I
touch and go.
I was too right. I thought they'd be filming out with a black armband. So yeah, I'm a lot better. I had COVID, and I was getting COVID when Ant was filming me last time. And at one stage when I stood up and I had to, you see the camera sort of slide down, and as though I was admiring his body, all I was doing was, I wasn't swooning, I was stopping myself from fainting. So, right as by now, but it's been a bloody hard week. Serves me bloody well right, because when Ant was said he had COVID, I said, well, don't bore me with the details of it.
Yeah, you did, actually.
All you blokes that say mild flu-like symptoms, I don't know which friggin' COVID you had, because mine was a lot worse than that. But anyhow, good as gold now.
That's the main thing.
We laughed, we cried. And anything else? We've had 3 or 4 tries today, and that's the story of detecting.
That is,
so
yeah, just one of those days.
Yeah, but
You got one bit at least.
we've got one little bit, and got a knockout bottle.
Yep, happy with that.
Our relic was fight was a bust.
Yeah.
But I've been wanting to come in here for ages and detect this paddock, so I've ticked that off the list.
Yeah.
So
it was tough going with the GPXs. We probably should have had our
yeah,
Garratt
we should have done.
the
Yeah,
Equinox,
we should have had the Garratt and the Equinoxes. It was
Yeah.
just too much rubbish.
Yeah.
You know, you can pick a good signal with the GVX and the double D coil, but there was just too much tin overload, and it was too hard a job.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyhow, next week. And if you watch to the end of the tape, good on you. Thanks very much.
Exactly.
Not a lot happened, and it took a long while to happen, but thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. See you guys.
See you.
Why does it feel so cold inside my heart tonight?